Hey there. Have you ever woken up in the morning and felt like your energy just isn't what it used to be? Maybe you're moving a little slower, or those stairs you used to climb without a second thought now feel like a bit of a chore. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we hit 60 and beyond, it's natural to notice some changes in how we feel day to day. But here's the good news. Science says it doesn't have to be that way forever. In fact, with a few simple tweaks to your routine, you can not only feel better, but also increase your chances of living well past 90, vibrant, active, and enjoying every moment. I've been digging into what researchers and doctors have to say about aging, and it turns out there are 5 habits that can make a huge difference. These aren't complicated tricks or expensive gimmicks. They're practical, everyday things you can start doing right now. And the best part, they're backed by studies showing they can help you live longer and healthier. So grab a cup of tea or coffee, get comfortable, and let's chat about how you can add these habits to your life after 60. Trust me, by the time we're done, you'll feel inspired to take on your days with a little more pep in your step. Let's start with the first habit, and it's one you've probably heard about before, but might not realize just how powerful it is. Moving your body every day. Now, I'm not talking about running marathons or lifting heavy weights at the gym, unless that's your thing, of course. No, this is about finding ways to stay active that feel good to you. Science tells us that regular movement is like a magic potion for aging. A study from the American Heart Association found that folks over 60 who get even moderate exercise, like a brisk walk or some light gardening, can lower their risk of heart disease and even add years to their life. It's not about how fast or how far you go. It's about keeping those joints limber and your heart pumping. Think about it like this. Remember how you used to chase after the grandkids or spend an afternoon tending to your flowers without feeling wiped out? You can get back to that kind of energy. Maybe it's a 20-minute stroll around the neighborhood while listening to your favorite music. Or maybe it's doing some gentle stretches in your living room while you watch TV. One friend of mine, Betty, who's 68, started dancing in her kitchen every morning to old Elvis tunes. She says it's not just fun. It's made her feel lighter on her feet and more awake all day. The key is to pick something you enjoy, so it doesn't feel like a chore. Even 15 or 20 minutes a day can work wonders, and before you know it, you'll be amazed at how much stronger you feel. Now, moving your body is a great start, but it's not the only piece of the puzzle. The second habit is all about what you put on your plate, or really, when you don't. After 60, feeding yourself the right way becomes more important than ever, and science says focusing on whole, colorful foods can help you thrive. I'm talking about swapping out some of those processed snacks, like that bag of chips you might reach for during a late-night show, for things like fruits, veggies, nuts, and lean proteins. A big study from Harvard showed that people who eat more plant-based foods in their later years have a lower risk of chronic diseases like diabetes and even some cancers. Plus, it keeps your energy steady instead of those ups and downs you get from sugary stuff. This doesn't mean you have to give up everything you love. No one's coming for your slice of birthday cake. It's more about balance. Picture your plate like a little rainbow. Some bright red tomatoes, a handful of blueberries, maybe a piece of grilled chicken or fish. I met a guy named Tom at a community potluck who's 72, and he swears by his daily habit of tossing a few walnuts and a sliced apple into his oatmeal. He says it's simple, tastes good, and keeps him going strong all morning. You don't need to overhaul your whole kitchen. Just start small, maybe adding one new veggie to dinner or keeping a bowl of fruit handy for when you're peckish. It's these little choices that stack up over time, giving your body the fuel it needs to keep you around for those extra birthdays. So, we've got movement to keep you active and good food to keep you fueled. Next, let's talk about something that ties it all together, and that's getting enough sleep. I know. Sometimes it feels like a good night's rest is harder to come by as we get older. Maybe you're waking up more at night or finding it tough to drift off. But here's why it's worth figuring out. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that quality sleep after 60 can improve everything from your memory to your immune system. People who get 7 to 8 hours a night, or at least close to it, are more likely to live longer and feel sharper during the day. It's like giving your body a chance to recharge and repair itself. If sleep's been tricky for you, don't worry. There are ways to make it easier. Try winding down with a calm routine, like reading a book or sipping some herbal tea instead of scrolling through your phone. My neighbor Joan, who's 65, started turning off the TV an hour before bed and listening to soft music instead. She says she's sleeping better than she has in years. Even small changes, like keeping your bedroom cool and dark, can help. It's not about perfection. It's about giving yourself the rest you deserve so you can wake up ready to take on these other habits we're talking about. Now that we've covered moving, eating well, and sleeping better, let's move on to something that might surprise you. It's all about staying connected. Staying connected might not be the first thing you think of when it comes to living longer, but trust me, it's a game changer. After 60, it's easy to let those social ties slip a little. Maybe the kids are busy with their own lives, or old friends have moved away. But science says keeping people in your orbit can do wonders for your health. A study from the University of California found that folks over 60 who stay socially active, whether it's chatting with neighbors, joining a club, or just calling up a buddy, have lower rates of depression and even a stronger immune system. It's like your heart and soul get a little boost every time you laugh with someone or share a story. Now, this doesn't mean you need a packed social calendar or 100 best friends. It's about quality, not quantity. Think about the people who light you up. Maybe it's a sibling you haven't caught up with in a while, or that nice lady you always see at the grocery store. One guy I know, Ed, who's 71, started a little walking group with a few folks from his church. They meet up twice a week, stroll around the park, and end up at a coffee shop talking about everything from grandkids to old TV shows. He says it's the highlight of his week, and he feels more energized because of it. You could try something simple too. Maybe invite a friend over for tea, or join a local class like painting or cards. Even a quick phone call can lift your spirits and keep you feeling tied to the world around you. And speaking of feeling tied to the world, that brings us to the fifth habit, which is all about keeping your mind sharp and curious. After 60, it's tempting to settle into the same old routines, same TV shows, same crossword puzzle every Sunday. But giving your brain a little workout can help you stay vibrant and, yes, even live longer. Researchers from Rush University found that people who keep their minds engaged through things like learning something new, reading, or solving puzzles have a lower risk of memory loss and cognitive decline. It's like flexing a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it stays. You don't have to be a genius or start studying rocket science to make this work. It's about finding something that sparks your interest. My Aunt Clara, who's 67, picked up knitting a few years back, not because she needed more scarves, but because she wanted to try something different. Now she's making blankets for her grandkids and says it keeps her mind busy in the best way. Maybe for you, it's finally learning to play that guitar you've always wanted to try, or picking up a book about history that's been sitting on your shelf. Even doing a jigsaw puzzle while you listen to the radio can get those gears turning. The trick is to challenge yourself, just enough to feel fun, not frustrated. It's like a little adventure for your brain, keeping you sharp for all the years ahead. So, we've talked about staying connected with the people who matter and and keeping your mind buzzing with curiosity. These habits build on each other, don't they? Moving your body keeps you feeling good. Eating well gives you the energy to enjoy it. Sleeping better helps you recharge. Connecting with others lifts your mood. And challenging your mind keeps you quick on your feet. It's all tied together, like a recipe for a life that doesn't just last longer, but feels richer too. Let's dive into how you can bring these all together and make them stick, because that's where the real magic happens. Bringing these habits together might sound like a tall order, but it's really about weaving them into your days in a way that feels natural, not forced. Think of it like tending a garden. You don't overhaul everything overnight. You plant a few seeds, water them a bit, and watch them grow over time. Let's imagine a day where these 5 habits come to life. Picture yourself waking up after a solid night's sleep. Maybe you've been turning off the lights a little earlier, or sipping some chamomile tea before bed. You feel rested, not groggy, and that's already a win. Then, you step into your morning with a little movement, nothing fancy, just a walk around the block or some stretches while the coffee brews. You're not training for the Olympics, you're just waking up your body, and it feels good. As you sit down for breakfast, you've got that second habit in play, eating well. Maybe you toss some berries into your oatmeal or grab a handful of almonds instead of a muffin. It's simple, tasty, and keeps you going without that mid-morning slump. Later, you give your sister a call or a wave to a neighbor over the fence. There's that connection habit, keeping your heart warm and your spirits high. And in the afternoon, you settle in with a book or try your hand at a Sudoku puzzle, giving your mind that little spark it loves. See how it flows. These aren't big, dramatic changes. They're small moments that add up, making you feel stronger, sharper, and more alive. The beauty of this is that you don't have to do it all perfectly every day. Life happens. Maybe the grandkids come over and you're too busy laughing to fit in your walk. Or you stay up late watching a movie and miss that full 8 hours of sleep. That's okay. The science behind these habits shows they work best when you stick with them most of the time, not all the time. Take my friend Margaret, who's 69. She started walking with a group of ladies from her book club, and some days they just sit and chat instead. But she keeps showing up, and she swears she's got more energy now than she did at 50. It's about progress, not perfection, and finding what fits your life. What's really exciting is how these habits don't just help you live past 90. They make those years worth living. You're not just adding time, you're adding joy, clarity, and that spring in your step you thought might be gone for good. Imagine being the one chasing the grandkids around the yard again, or planning a trip with friends because you've got the energy to enjoy it. That's what this is all about, small changes that stack up to a big difference. And the science backs it up. Studies show that people who move regularly, eat well, sleep enough, stay connected, and keep their minds active aren't just surviving longer, they're thriving. So where do you start? Pick one thing that feels doable. Maybe it's a 10-minute walk tomorrow morning, or swapping your evening cookie for an apple. Try it for a few days, see how it feels, and then layer in something else. Before you know it, you'll be living these habits without even thinking about it. I'd love to hear how it goes for you. Drop a comment below and tell me which habit you're starting with or how you're already making these work in your life. It's always more fun when we share the journey, right? And if you found this helpful, give the video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I'll be back with more ways to keep you feeling your best, no matter your age. Here's to living your fullest, happiest life. Cheers to that.